That's what step number 6 is. So here's number 1. There was the agenda. So now we're going to go with each requirement, each step. There's called a summer targeted partial safety audit, and also an exterior door safety audit. So if you're looking here, and all of this, before we continue, the PowerPoint, I'm going to place it in the chat so all of you can have access. But every time that you present to your faculty and staff, or if you need to, right, this part, you're just going to click on it. This is what I'm going to do. You have to put it on, presentation mode. Click on it, and then it'll take me to that. So here is the audit, okay? And you're going to have to download it to your computer. So I'm telling you right now, download it. See, do you see up here it says download file? You're going to have to do that. Download it. Everything that I'm going to show you today, you have to download it. And the reason is once you download it, it should give you access to a lot of other things. So this is the summer targeted partial safety audit. This is the first audit you need to do. This is the introduction. It gives you information about it and what it's going to be used for, okay? And none of this, and they keep on repeating it, it's not supposed to be given to anybody else, okay? The only people you're going to give this audit to is only the committee. It's me, Ms. Agüero Ramirez, and I didn't introduce all of us, but there's quite a few of us, Dr. Borrego, Mr. Roy Guzman, it's going to be probably Mr. Faz, it's going to be Mr. Romeo Garza, it's going to be quite a few of us, okay? So all of this has to be shared with us. Here's the cover sheet. You need to fill it out, okay? How many members are there in your safety and security team? I already gave you an example. It would be you, an administrator. It could be one of your assistants, a police, security. It could be custodian. It could be anybody you want, basically. And then this is the actual audit. This is the way it's going to start. And if you look at the categories, there's going to be like 47 questions. Here's question number 1. How many staff members are at this school facility? So you're going to type in here the number, right? After you download it. What is the total enrollment of students? You put it down. And if you look, that's the question. They put down activity. Here's the answer. And then if we answer no to some of these questions, there's another column called identified actions. What are you going to do? Who is the team responsible? When do you plan to complete it? And then what is the status? Okay. So let's go on to question number 3. I'm not going to go through all of them, but when you do it, you'll know what to answer. Which of the following best describes a school facility? Right here, when you download it, there's going to be a drop-down menu, and you're a public school because it says charter and something else. Okay. Then
Mr.
here now.
Noyola, sorry.
Yes.
Do you mind inviting 2 individuals, our project manager, Jerry Lopez, just in case there's any questions there, and then Gus Elizondo for maintenance?
Okay, let me then exit here so I can invite him.
I'll do it, Dr. Noyola.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate you all helping me.
Thank you.
Okay. Can you invite him? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Let me see. Okay, so here is which of the following best. Oh, I already did that. This question right here, number 4. I'm sorry, what?
You need to share again because we're not seeing your PowerPoint.
Oh, okay. Let me share.
Mr. Faz, ¿quién era?
Gus, Gustavo Elizondo and Jerry Lopez.
Got it.
Thank you.
There, we can see it, Mr. Noyola.
Okay, thank you. And thank you because I can't see. I think sometimes I think you're seeing what I'm seeing, but we're not. Okay. Number 4, a policy is in place to ensure exterior doors are closed and locked. So is that like a campus? It doesn't mean that there's a board policy. No, is it understood at your campus that all the exterior doors need to be closed and locked at all times, such as that visitors can only enter the facility through the primary entrances? In other words, just the front entrance, okay? So you're going to say yes or no. Is it something that you convey to all of your faculty and staff members, right? And if no, then you have to answer those questions. What are you going to do now? What is the action? Who's going to be responsible? When is the completion date and the status, okay? So then now questions 5 through 9, it's talking about visitors. Here it's asking question number 5. Do staff been trained on visitor procedures, including what forms of ID are allowable and under what situations visitors are allowed to enter the building? Right? And really, all of you should have Raptor, right? This is actually talking about Raptor. Do you ask them for the what? The ID? Do you run it through? And do you give them a badge? Does it say on the badge where they're going, who are they going to talk to? Is it visible? All these things. So questions 5 through 9 are really referring to Raptor. Now, I know that we bought Raptor to you maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I know that some of you are using them, some of you are not. Well, this is now telling us we need to use it. And not only that, if it's broken or needs repair, please let Dr. Borrego know. He is in here with us. Let him know so he can start looking into it, okay? And we need to get you some. And I remember 5 years ago, we even got you some extra badges, those stickers. And some of you have not even picked them up yet. We had been calling you 5 years ago, come and pick it up, come and pick it up. We still have some for some of you. But you need to use them, okay? So this is what it's telling us.
And
Okay.
speaking of badges, Dr. Noyola, just real quick,
Yes.
for starting this school year, ladies and gentlemen, all substitute teachers will have an ID badge just like this.
Okay,
Yes.
and we're going to get to that. Thank you for that, because now it's asking also, do all your faculty and staff have one? So you're going to have to make sure they have one. And I'm glad you showed that. I don't know if you can see it. We all do here in central office, right? Thank you, because I can't see myself. Thank you, Miss, for sharing that. So all of us need to make sure we carry and have our badges, okay? Then questions 10 and 11 are asking, do you pick up your keys annually? Remember, that should be something that you do as a principal. At the end of the year, give me your key. Give me your keys. I've known some teachers that they haven't picked up their keys like for the past 5-10 years. They're like, what? So it should be on an annual basis. And here it is, question number 11. All staff members are required to wear photo ID badges, yes or no? And if you say no, what are you going to do? Remember those columns here? What action are you going to do? Who is responsible? When is the completion date? And what is the status? So thank you for sharing that, Ms. Agüero. So it does ask us that. Now here's the building interior. Are all the classrooms being locked? It's verse number 12. There is a policy. In other words, it's something that you have told. It's a protocol requiring classroom instruction be conducted with doors locked. So once the bell rings, they should be locking their door. Nobody should be coming in. They should not be able to come in. They have to knock at the door to come in, right? And I know that some principals say no doors locked, because when we do observations or walkthroughs, well, this is telling us the opposite. We should have it locked at all times for safety precautions, right? Again, even if it's a separate building, let's say you're going the main building and then to go off into the, let's say, what is it there? Say a portable, they even mentioned later on, like cafeteria, the gym. Are those doors locked? You can't be able to go in, not the students, unless the coach is there. Let's say, for example, somebody from inside opening the doors for them to come in, party bell rings, close it, okay? So those are the questions. Here's monitoring and surveillance. They're asking here if you have, of course, cameras. Is there security cameras? Most of this is you're going to say yes, right? And it says here, number 16, if the building is used after school or on weekends, is there staff or security present? Remember, we already know we can't leave kids alone. We can't leave until the kid leaves, right? So some of these I already told you we're okay with it, most of it. School-based law enforcement security. School-based law enforcement officers are located on site. They should be on site. School security officers or these are your security guards. Are they located on site? Yes, they are. They're there. Then number 20, do they provide a visible and regular presence? Are they in front of the school? They should be at the front of the school, in front of not outside in front, but inside, so that as parents come in, are they watching them? Are they seeing them? Some of you sometimes say, well, they're running this, they're doing this for me. Really, well, they should be there most of the time, okay? I know that sometimes, oh, well, they have their own office or they're in their office. No, they should not be in their office. They should be visible. That's what this is asking for.
Mr.
And if it's
Noyola,
not, yes,
sir, so question 18 for elementary campuses,
right,
that's not referring to security guard, that's referring to PSJPD.
exactly. Thank you, sir, for clarifying that.
So for us, it's a no, because they're not on
Right.
site. They visit us, but so do we put that in the documentation that we get rotations, but they're not on site all the time?
Exactly, exactly.
Okay.
You're gonna put right here no on this one because there's a drop down, yes or no. You put no, and then you can explain here what's going on. Like what you
Okay.
said, they're on a rotation basis, they visit us because we don't have enough, right?
Okay,
But yeah, and yours would be here. This would be a yes, that you do have a security guard. So that once you put yes, then everything over here should be okay. Then you go to the next question. Okay?
And can we get a schedule as to when they'll be coming to visit?
I think we can.
Like a rotation schedule as to know, we know what areas they're in?
Okay, and Miss Chief Garcia, are you there? If
Yes, sir.
not, okay. And maybe we can get something out to the principals.
On the scheduled visits?
Yes,
Okay.
okay, thank you, sir. That's a good question.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Thank you, Ms.
Loyola,
Raquel. Yes, ma'am.
on the monitoring of the camera, I know the app is only on my desktop. Is there a way it could be put on the security guard's laptop?
It
That way
can
he
be.
has access to monitor it?
It
Okay,
can
I
be, 'cause
need
that's how we
to,
have it.
we need to ask for the licenses because I think that's the reason why we did allow, like you said, the principal to see that. Because I need to verify with that, just to make sure. And if we can, then we'll go ahead and share them with the security guards as well.
I know when I was
Okay.
in charge of security, we had done so for some of the guards, and I thought they had done that district-wide already. But
Okay.
if you could email me, whoever doesn't have
Okay.
it for their guards up front, let me know, and I'll work with the IT to get them
Okay,
access.
thank
Thank you,
you.
Mr. Garcia.
You're welcome.
Mr. Dr. Noyola, also on the security guards, when we start with our tutoring, and I think most of us agree we're gonna be starting early this year, 5:30 would be 4:50, I'm sorry, 5:15, 5:30 would be the time. Are security guards going to be allowed to stay that late since they have to be here when the students are here?
Well, they don't have to necessarily be there because if you're there, you're fine. If there's an administrator, if there's a teacher, as long as the student is not left by themselves. I know that we're getting, we know and that, they don't want them to do too much overtime, right?
Thank you.
Yes, okay. So as long as someone is out there, that should be fine. It doesn't have to be necessarily the security guard or policeman. Okay. Thank you. Those are very good questions, all of you. Okay, so where did we stay? Number 21, right? And I said I wasn't going to take too long on this, but drills are scheduled before the start of the school year. So that one, we just need to make sure they're scheduled. And we're going to all say yes, and we'll get to that in a few minutes. Reporting, there's some type of anonymous reporting system. Guess what this is? This is Stop It. That's what I've been bothering you almost every day. I need your list. Give me the numbers. Give me the cell phones. Give me this. If you don't give me your cell phone number, it won't work. That's why I'm asking. This is a new item that we have. It's called Stop It, and I do need that information. Most of you have turned it in, so thank you so much. There's just a couple of you that have not done it. Please do so, and so that will be you can answer yes to this. This is staff and student training. This is a training on how to report threats, threats from students. Basically, you already do this. If there's a threat, if the teachers know if there's a threat from student to student, or so they threaten me, they already know who to go to. They go to either to the administrator, they can go to the counselor if it's student to student, and sometimes. So, do we have something in place? Yes, they do. Do they know? Yes. Okay. Let me go. Referral resources. This is. Do they know for social emotional? Yes, we do. Right. that your administrators, as administrators, you already know, if there's issues with some students, I send them to my counselor. Counselor does what they can, right? Then the next step is do what? They submit them to us at the district level, and we work with our psychologists, we work with our LPCs, and even the wraparound specialists. So these are referring to those right there, okay? Can you identify these students? Do have threatening behaviors? Do you know what to do? Do your teachers know what to do? Do your counselors know? So they should know, because we've been doing it. This is now the grounds and building exterior. They're looking at all of these doors outside. And I'm not going to go over this because the next tool goes over those. It explains what these things are. Probably the ones that Mr. Faz said to bring him in, they already know. This is also for exterior. Portable classrooms and other exterior buildings have a camera or door viewer to assist identifying who is at the door. This one, I know we're gonna have to say no. We don't have a special camera at a portable, if you have portables, for each portable, so that way the teacher, when someone's knocking at the door, I can see who is out there. We don't have this. So that you're gonna have to fill out these other columns to say, who's in the team, what are you gonna do, by when should it be done, okay? Now, if you don't know the answers to these, you still need to put down no and say maybe that it's going to have to be like Mr. Faz. It's going to have to be the ones that he mentioned earlier to invite, which I forgot their names. But okay, so that's probably something here that you need to put down. And this is talking about the portable. Yes.
And Mr. Faz, send us that information. That way we can put it there, because
Okay.
I mean, if it were up to me, I'd go buy them right now and put them out there, but I know that's not allowed, but.
No, and let me explain why this is going on. Why they're asking all these questions is, if it is not happening in our district, then what we do is the district committee is going to look at all your information. We need all 45 of you guys to fill these out. You're going to send them to us, and the committee at the district level is going to look at it, and then we're going to submit them to TEA, and TEA is going to say, or the safety center is going to say, you know what, they need money, so they'll give us money. And I believe that we're going to have to, there's a grant that we can apply to buy all these things for either portables, all the things that we're talking about, the Raptors and all these things, okay? So
Mr.
going
Noyola,
on.
Dr.
Yes,
Noyola, instead of putting down Jerry and Gustavo, just put me down.
to
And
put you
then I'll
down,
just-
okay.
Yeah, we'll take care of it.
Thank you, sir. So this is the portable buildings. It's talking about athletics, the band hall, performing arts if it's a separate building. Then here you have the cafeteria. Cafeteria has a camera to assist in identifying who is at the door. Most of us do not if it's a separate building, right? Buses and parking. Are our parking lots adequately lighted? I know that sometimes they're not and sometimes they are. Parking lots can be viewed from the building or monitored by security. So if it is, yes, good. If it's no, then explain in these areas, right? Building access. The school has designated a primary point of entry. Usually, yes, we say this is the only entry and exit. The designated points of entry are monitored to control building access. Yes, we have always what? The clerk is out there, the security is out there. So if you say yes, that's good. We go on to the next questions. Building interior. Doors and locks are in good operating condition. Yes or no? Classroom doors can be locked from the inside with hardware meeting fire code. Yes or no? Classrooms have window shades. Yes or no? And if they don't, then put Mr. Foss, right? He's going to take care of it. Classrooms with windows in the doors, right? Have a way to cover the window if needed for a lockdown, if we need to do a lockdown. Yes or no? Oops, what happened? Yes, and then 46, all instruction rooms are locked. Again, they repeated it here again because remember when even the ones that are not used, like say they're empty, teachers in a conference or that classroom is not being used, they need to be locked at all times. And then the last one, security cameras are stationed inside and outside the school. Yes, we have inside cameras and we also have outside. So all of that should be yes for everyone. So this is just the first audit tool, guys. Okay, this is a companion guide if anyone has questions, right? Or questions that can be brought up. So But this is the main one that we need from all of you. Okay, so that's the first part. Let me exit here. So that was just the summer targeted partial safety audit tool. This other one is called the exterior door audit tracker, which is this one right here. If you notice down here, both audits are due on Thursday, August 4th to Mr. Roy Guzman. Let me just quickly go through the safety audit tracker, okay? Again, you're gonna have to download the file, and that way you should be able to input all the information. So it's kind of already done for you. First of all, here's an overview again. Door components, here it's telling you what each of these are. I didn't even know that this had a name. I just thought I would just say that bar between the two doors, right? It's called a mullen. I didn't even know. And sometimes what I've seen in some campuses, especially like when they're going into the gyms, the boys, the students would just, pull it and it would unlock it and the kids could go in. None of that should be happening, okay? They should be able to lock. This is what a sturdy mullen is. This is what reinforced door frames are. This is an auto door closer. This is an auto door lock. And so it explains, and this is the non-hinge door, an emergency open mechanism that you can open from the inside. This is an example. And actually, I'm glad somebody mentioned Jerry's here because this is just an example. We're going to need a floor, a map, right, of your campus. And then we are going to need to number, and I think I missed that, all of our exit and entry doors all the way around need to be labeled. Okay, so this is going to be a lot of work for maintenance. And just like central office, when you come to central office, we have, door 1, 2, 3, or halls, right? And then 4, 5, 6. So all of your doors in the exterior need to be labeled from now on. Because, and I'm thinking, let's say there's someone that enters a room, the building, well, they went in through room, door number 3, door number 2, or door 28, they can easily see that, okay? Because the next one right here, you're gonna have to put here your facility name, your name of the school, the number of your building, and then it says here, upload a map of your campus. So Jerry's going to have to submit these all to all of you. Or if you already have one, just upload it. And then we're going to have to number them like this. And here's an example. See, this is the front, and this is entry 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the way around. They have 45 ways to get in this campus. Okay. So this again tells you now, okay, so entry number 1, right? What type of door is there? Is it one of these with a sturdy mullen? Is it a reinforced frame? What type of door is it? And then it gives you here the codes. Is it operational? Is it non-operational? You don't have it right now. Is it only put an NA for sturdy mullen on all single doors, right? So this is what needs to be finished and turned into us. And then this is just a tracker. Just to say, okay, is it being worked on? Did it work? Is it work? Well, it says here the component works. Does it not work? Is it present or not present? But basically, this is the one we need right here. So far, those are the 2 tools. This is coming from, again, the Safety Center. I'm trying to minimize it here. I'm going to minimize it there so we can see it all. And these need to be done by August 4th to turn into us. Any questions?
Dr. Noyola, on
Yes.
on the labeling of the doors, is there any way that we can just purchase those and our custodians do it, or does a maintenance office have to do it?
That's a good question, Mr. Faz. What is easier? Is it for maintenance to take care of it, or custodians at the local campus? And I don't know if now I'm thinking, if we're going to let every campus do their own, the numbers might be too small, and there's not going to be uniformity.
Well,
But I don't know,
maybe you guys can provide the stickers to us and we can do them.
Okay, I like that. That's good. I don't know, Mr. Faz is still on?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Do you
What was
think
the
we
question?
Yeah, can we provide the numbers for the doors, the exterior doors, because they all need to be numbered? Here, if I go back to right here to the tracker, right here, sir. There was a sample. Here it is. This is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be labeling the entries into the building, all exterior. And that was part of the question I skipped that question, but it's in there. That says, are all exterior entries or exits labeled with a number? Okay. So all campuses have to now have all of this all around their campus, any entry or exit doors. And they're going to have to go, around the entire building and number them. So and they're asking about, can we get numbers and then just have our custodians put them up? And that would be great. That way it's not a lot of manpower for maintenance, but just getting those numbers. And that way we're all identical throughout the whole district.
I agree.
Yeah, I think it's very important so that the emergency responding personnel, they're not confused from one school to the other,
Mhm. Right.
No, Dr. Noel, I agree. We'll do it
Okay.
like that for now.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, let's go on to, that was just item number 1. I said in 1 hour. Let me see if I can finish.
Okay, Dr. Noyola,
Yes,
I have a question.
Sure.
For the doors that you want us to label them, let's say like our front door at PSA High,
right,
there's 6 doors that are aligned in the
Okay.
front.
yes,
That would be door number 1, or it's door 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6?
exactly. It'll be door 1, 2, 3, 4,
Okay.
5, 6, and then wherever there's an entry or
Okay.
exit. Yes,
Okay, so each
that's-
individual door is, okay.
that's the way they want us to label it. And there's the example on the tracker tool. I think there was 2 for the main entrance, so it will be labeled number 1 and number 2.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the way they want us, so we just need to make sure we have it that way. Good question. And this is
One more
the
question on the door, sir, before
Oh.
you move on.
okay.
So since my cafeteria is outside, I would have to number those leading to the area there, right, also?
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
thank you.
And okay, so this is the District Safety and Security Committee. This is what they're going to do. Now, who is going to be this committee? Well, it's going to be the superintendent. It's going to be the board president. Has to be several other members. They're the District Safety and Security Committee. What are they supposed to do? Well, they're supposed to meet before prior to the school year. So they have to meet before August 22nd. They have to record who's in that meeting. They have to review the campus safety needs. And what are the needs? It's these audits, the ones that I just went over, the door and the partial safety audit. This is what they need to go through. And it says here that none of these results will be shared with who? With the public. It's only supposed to be you as a campus. You give it to us, and we look at it quickly. It'll be I said Ms. Agüero Ramirez's team, but there is a name for our team, but and I'll show it to you in a few minutes. And then we will share this with the Safety and Security Committee, which is, I just told you who are 2 of those members, right? And then we have to also review the operation. They have to review the emergency operations plan and the active threat plan and everything else, okay? So that's a separate committee, but they're going to see all of this. What we need from all of you is these 2 audits, because they need to review them, okay? So that was number 2. Here's number 3. We have to train, remember it says on safety procedures. It says train all staff and student substitutes on district and campus specific safety procedures prior to the start of the school year. This is a manual that we've always had, and we've asked principals, do you know it? And they forget. No, we don't have one. Yes, we do. And I'm going to include here, before I give you this PowerPoint, I'm going to include the PowerPoint that police chief is already doing with the substitutes, so that way you can go over with your faculty and staff. So we need to train them on this, and I'm going to click on it so you can see it, and what police chief is presenting. This is our emergency procedure manual. Okay, you can, I don't think I gave you rights to edit anything because you're not supposed to edit. Actually, you're going to do is only review it with your faculty and staff, right? Here is the only three numbers you really need to probably know. It's the police department. It's 354-2033. That's dispatch. And then the health services and then student services, right? What I did is, here's the table of contents. All of this is in this plan here. And the ones I highlighted are the ones you need to make sure you cover with your faculty and staff. When? It has to be done before school starts, okay? And it's about secure campus procedures. It's all of these evacuation plans. So I'm just going to show you the first one. Usually this is the most important one here. Secure campus procedures. It tells you about phase one. It's to secure. Remember that, and we're going to see that in a few minutes. That's part of one of the drills that you all need to do. Hold in place. That's another drill. And then the lockdown. This is another drill. We constantly use these all the time. Okay, so we shouldn't be strangers to any of this, and it shouldn't be a stranger to us. So you would just click on that, and these are the ones you need to cover. What I'm going to be adding in this PowerPoint when you get it is police chief's PowerPoint, and it deals with the active shooter, if I remember correctly. Okay, so you can go over it with your faculty and staff. So all of this is asking, what are the safety procedures? The safety procedures are all in here. Here's the manual, and this manual is updated. It's updated by several of us here at Central Office, and we'll update it as well. It's been updated. It's the most updated one, and of course we'll update it as we go along, and we'll send you, like, here's the latest update. Here's the latest update. So there is a manual that needs to be followed. Okay, and I'm not going to go over it because of time, but you can go through it, just review it. It tells you what the principal does. It tells you what the teacher does. It tells you what the nurse does, and counselors if needed. Everything is there specifically. These are all safety procedures, emergency procedures. Okay, any questions on this?
Dr. Neola, let me just jump in there real quick and just
Okay.
let everybody know, welcome back. I appreciate everybody that's participating in all these safety procedures that we're ensuring that we have. We know that there's a big compliance piece here that's coming from the state, but as you all know, PSJA takes safety above all else here in our district. So we want to always move beyond compliance. These are some compliance items that we're talking about, but I know that everybody understands the importance of it and ensuring that we have little or no margin for error when it comes to safety. And so we want to do everything we can to keep everyone safe. So I wanted to come in and just thank everybody. If there's anything else that we can continue to do to make things even better. I saw some information there. People were sharing in the chat. I love the conversations where we all are collaborating with each other. It's just going to be super important that we all know what each other is going to be doing in our role. And if there's an incident, and I think it's super important that the more we communicate now and the more we share with each other, we're going to be that much better prepared. So I have another meeting to go to, but I wanted to make sure that I thank you all for your efforts and showed my appreciation to everyone here that's been taking a leadership role, and really everybody here at one point or another will may be asked upon to take that role to be able to explain to others. So thank you all very much for your leadership.
No, thank you, Dr. Redondo, because I like what you said, that we do above and beyond. And these are just the compliance items, but we need to make sure and that we do everything and go above and beyond. So thank you, sir, for sharing that. Okay. Any questions on the emergency manual? Okay. I'm going to go to 4.
Dr.
This is-
Noela, just
Yes, ma'am.
really, I did have a question, and maybe you all have it or y'all are going to disseminate that information, but are we going to have like a system in place where that way we don't have to give a key to everybody to have the access to be able to open doors as they're traveling to and from cafeteria, to and from the, from the main building to the outside building, like how in central office we there's the ID, there's a magnet safe, and it opens, it gives us access. are we going to have that at the campus level?
And I don't know to answer that because I know we haven't discussed that, but that's good, something that we can look at. So you're asking like the keys that we have, and I say keys now,
Yes,
IDs
just
that
because
opens.
some of the buildings we do constantly, if we're gonna continue to be on a phase one, or right, all outdoor doors locked.
Mhm.
It's a constant going to cafeteria and gymnasium every, I'm gonna say 45 minutes, right?
Right.
So
right.
we were having a radio on the outside of the patio so that one of the office person can go and open the door because nobody was opening the doors. So I think we just need a systematic way of, I'm thinking, right, that's just me, a suggestion, if we could be like the system that you all have at central office where our teachers can carry their tag and it has a magnet safe, and with that, they can open the door. Because how are we going to be able to come in and out and that's what we were doing in enrichment, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna continue with the radio and in the patio, because how else do we lock every single door?
Yes, and that's a very good question, and I kind of like that. Maybe as a committee, we'll discuss it, and so we can look into it and see how much it's going to cost us, right? And
Or
not
maybe
for all the
getting the
doors.
money. I don't know if the state or the will provide that kind of money, because obviously a lot of schools are in the same, predicament where they're gonna need that access to come in and out.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be all the doors. It could just be like the ones you just said, going from the main building to cafeteria, right? And in the
Yes, we had
just-
one door where we left the radio outside, but it's like everybody in the office, okay, somebody's calling, go, get up and go and open the door, security or somebody. So that was the only issue that I see it's gonna come into play now in the regular school year.
Okay, no, thank you.
To add to that, Dr. Noyola, and for everybody, it was given to me by an idea from another principal. I requested keys just for the meantime, because we're gonna have to take action starting August, September, and it's gonna be really hectic. So I just requested a key for that one door for everybody, and about 40 keys.
Okay,
I have keys, Dr. Noyola, for all my staff. It's Ms. Cardosa, and it's the locksmith came in about 3 years ago.
Okay.
And it's for the staff restroom and for the entry. It isn't open classrooms or any other secure rooms. And every staff member has it.
Okay, wonderful. And I don't know if we will bombard them with so many.
Yeah, it would.
Right?
At this point of the year, it will. But it's important because it's hard to have the doors or someone available all the time.
Exactly. Yes.
Dr. Noyola,
Yes,
Larry
sir.
has a question. Hand up.
Ooh,
Hey,
I'm
good
sorry.
morning.
Oh.
Dr. Noyola.
Yes.
Just to add to what's being discussed currently, we did get some state funding, and I don't know if Chief is on the call, but we did get some state funding, which we've already completed what was allocated for that, and it's mainly all the high schools and all the middle schools. We've put security entrances, not every door, but just the doors that we felt needed that extra security. And it's all the high schools. I think it's about maybe 3 to 4 doors at the high school, and same for the middle schools. At the elementary level, we don't have those type of doors. I think at the elementary level, for the most part, we've got some kind of a secured vestibule at every entrance, but we don't have those tags or those security access card access doors from building to building.
Right.
Let's say if you're leaving the main campus to the gym and you've got to go outside, we don't have that.
And I guess we can work on that because I know there's several elementaries, but if we can do something, we should, right?
Or Dr.
Yeah,
Noyola,
that's something that we
could
can
work
try
together.
to budget. Yep.
Okay.
Well, that's
thank
the
you.
thing, is that there's going to be some grants that are going to be coming out. So if we identify schools right now,
Mhm.
that way we prioritize them, because
Exactly.
Dr. Moyo, it's Reed Mock, Dodines has the same, they have the cafeterias that are outside, those. So, we'll start visiting the campuses during our daily audits and identify those doors and
Okay.
have everything ready to go once the grants start rolling out.
Wonderful. Okay.
And the least amount of keys, honestly, this is just what I've seen, is the least amount of keys that we have out there the more secure we are, honestly. So that's what these access cards are for. If you've got a card, you have access, because there is room for error with the key. You might leave the door unlocked and you don't even know you left it unlocked. And
Right.
and so that can be an issue as well.
Okay. And I kind of like the card too. So, but we'll
Or
look into
even
it.
if I can purchase it, just send me a quote. I'm in a panic mode and I just want to install something, you know, even if it's one door. We did it with one door. And as long as we have one door, our teachers were very, you know, they'll go that route. They'll find a way. It's just, I just feel like we need it, like, yeah. And I'll be able to purchase it si está baratito somehow.
What's the cost, Jerry? Yeah, Jerry, what's the cost for one door?
I think for door, we're looking at, it depends, because they're all different and they all need something different. And then also we need to find power nearby, and also an IDF nearby. But on average, you're probably looking at maybe $2,000 per door, $2,500 per door.
That's fine. Send it to me. Send me the thing.
And I don't know.
I'll find student activity or something. I'll find money.
We'll set up a meeting with Chief and MIS and kind of go through the campuses that are needing, which is mainly all the elementary schools at this point, and kind of go through the floor plan and see which doors, and then maybe bring in the principals and make sure we're all on the same page.
Exactly. Okay. Thank you.
And I guess, sorry, Dr. Noyola, I think the easiest thing would be for us to research, like you said, about the grants. I guess the grants would be the ones paying for this. So, you know, we'll get some numbers there.
Yeah, if history serves the same, I mean, every time an incident like this happens, I mean, money does come down. So it's unfortunate, but there should be money coming down.
And that's why we do need the audits, ladies and gentlemen, from the campuses, because we need to review all of this, and then we will be sending it to the Safety Center and to TEA, so that way they can start releasing those grants to us, or for us to apply, or they'll just send us the money. So,
Dr. Noyola, one more thing. I know Jerry just came in maybe about 5 minutes ago. If there's any questions dealing right now, when you were talking about the floor plan and then a numbering, if there's any questions from anybody, this is a perfect time. Jerry just came in, and hopefully he can assist with that.
Okay. Let me go to number 4, and then we'll open it again to any more questions, right, as we're going along. I know we do the fire drills, right, every year. But what they want us is they want a mandatory drill, a scheduled mandatory drills. So the drills that they're asking is a fire drill, 1 per month, a secure drill. Remember I told you that's part of even our, the emergency that I showed you earlier. It's 1 per school year, 1 lockdown. Well, 1 lockdown is 2 per school year, 1 per semester. On the lockdown drill, shelter in place for hazmat drill. Hazmat means hazardous material. Let's say there's something out there and you need to shelter in place in the classroom, and that should be done 1 per year. Shelter for weather, again, 1 per year, and then evacuation drill, 1 per school year. So what you're going to do once you get this PowerPoint, all you do is click on here, and a form is going to come up. Again, you have to download it. This is a scheduled mandatory school drill where you need your name, school name, date, and these are all the drills right here. The fire drill is 1 a month. And of course, we start in August all the way through July. When are you going to have it? Is it going to be the 15th? Is it going to? So you're going to have to go to your calendar, school calendar, put down the day that you're going to do it. Secure drill, 1 per year. Lockdown drill, 2 per year. When are you doing it? It's 1 per semester, remember. Evacuation drill, 1. Shelter in place for hazardous material, and then for severe weather. And then, of course, you sign it and submit it to, I believe I said, Mr. Romeo Garza. So this has to be done. If you are not submitting it to him, you'll probably hear from me that you need to turn it in, okay? And I'll remind you until you do turn it in, because it has to be a mandatory drill, a scheduled mandatory drill, okay? And Mr. Garza, you wanted to share something? If he's here. Okay. Yes.
Are there certain protocols for each type of drill?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Are there certain protocols for each type of drill?
Yes, yes, there is. And actually, the fire drill, the secure drill, the lockdown drill, they're on the emergency procedures. This one right here. Yeah. Right here, all of that is in there.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, the hazardous material, it tells you also, and the severe weather, what I highlighted was the hurricane. Usually those are the really severe ones. Other than that, we're pretty good, but severe weather is really stay away from windows, right? If we have to do that shelter in your classroom, teacher turns off the light, just get away from all windows, just in case something hits the windows and it might hurt students. The hazardous material that is in the emergency procedure, what I said is with the masking tape, the teacher is basically supposed to put tape all around, right? The door frame so nothing seeps in. Put some clothes or a towel, something at the bottom. If there's any windows in their classroom, they have to make sure it's sealed, right? If it's just a sealed window, that's fine. You don't have to do anything. So basically, that's what a hazardous material is, because you don't want those fumes. Let's say there was a oil, not an oil spill, but some chemical spill outside, and especially an expressway, or if your campus is by an expressway, and that is going towards your school, you'll hear from either our police chief or security, student services telling you need to go shelter in place and for the hazardous material. And we rarely have those incidents, but it's requiring one per school year. Okay.
Dr. Noyola, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? I don't know if you guys could hear me or not.
Yes, now we can.
Okay. Like I said, welcome back, everybody. My name is Romeo Watson. I'm the safety officer for the school district. And everything Dr. Noyola was saying was true, especially the fire drills. There's been times in the past where some of these campuses won't do a fire drill for several months, and then they'll ask me, well, can I do 2 or 3 in November to take the place of August, September, and October? And the answer is no. There needs to be one every month, and I got to submit it to the state. And then the state, in turn, will let the superintendent know what's going on. So those are mandatory. I mean, we have to do one. I know you principals get busy. I totally understand that, but we need to do one. And also the lockdown, those are also very, very important. And when we do these lockdowns, lots of times I'll go witness one and do the walkthrough. And sometimes I can still see students in the classroom. I can see teachers. When we do a lockdown, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, we have to pretend it's the real thing, and we have to practice like it's the real thing. Okay, so when I do my walkthroughs during the lockdown, when you invite me to do one, I shouldn't see anybody in the classroom. Every door should be locked. Everybody should be real quiet, no noise. And sometimes, when I do walk through these, I can hear the kids laughing or joking, or I can see kids running around. And, we just need to educate our teachers and tell them, listen, we need to take this very serious and do it the right way so that, we can be prepared for it.
Okay.
On the phase 3, Mr. Garza, do we need to make sure that we let parents know prior to?
This is the way we should do it. Before we do a lockdown or before we do a fire drill, we need several people that need to know. One is the local fire department, the local police department, the superintendent's office, my office. Okay, Adriana, who's not with us anymore, but the PR department needs to know. So all these people need to know before we do it, because remember, ladies and gentlemen, we got to pull that fire alarm. That's how we practice. We got to pull it. So the fire department and the police department and the alarm company, they need to know this is a test. If not, everybody's going to show up. And if everybody shows up, then, there's going to be people that are not going to be too happy because it was just a test and everybody showed up. So yes, communication is key.
The lockdown, phase 3, parents, yes. Letters, do we need to send that out prior to or not?
Well, I'd have to talk to my bosses too about that because, as long as we know, because when they start calling, we'll know what's going on and we'll let the parents know, oh, it's a practice. It was a practice lockdown. This is why we need to communicate with the people that I told you, so that just in case a student does not understand that it's a practice and they call mom and dad in the dark room so
I
yeah.
usually, as an idea, I usually put it on the monthly calendar that I send home. So the
Yes.
parents are aware and the teachers already talk to the children so they don't get scared, especially
Exactly.
during these times. They're very important.
Thank you so much.
Yes, I agree.
And to answer your question, yes, parents need to know that it's going to happen. Not only that, they need to be informed that all faculty and staff have been trained, even students have been trained, how they should behave, like what Mr. Romeo Garza is saying. The reason I'm saying this is because last year we had so many threats, right, from the campuses, and there was a horde of parents that came to central office. I spoke to them and I told them, yes, teachers are trained, but how do we know? They don't tell us, the school or whatever. And I said, the school knows, they know they need to do the drills, they know they need to do a lockdown, but what if this happens? Well, they already know, but they don't tell us. So yes, it is important to tell your parents that all of these drills are happening. If you need to tell them all of these are going to take place the whole year, this is when they're going to take, excellent. That way they already know, and tell them steps are being done, or maybe you have an evening meeting with parents or something. This is what happens in a lockdown. The lights are turned off, the front, the door is locked, everybody stays away, to a corner, all these things. So they need to know what's going on, because they were all scared, and they were all letting us know here at central office, but the principal never tell us, or nobody has told us that that's what they do. Ma'am, they do. They have to do these drills. They have to know, have they been trained? Yes, ma'am. All of them have been trained. My child says que no, they haven't done any drills the whole year. Miss, they should have been doing them, miss. And so yes, parents, inform parents, these are going on. That way, if they make, they will feel that the school is safe, it's secure. They already know what to do. They already know what to do. Even my child knows what to do. So please inform the parents, okay?
Dr. Noyola, is there
Yes.
a current training on the procedures? Because every year, as you know, we get new teachers and things are changing and new technologies coming in, new ways of locking down are coming out. Like, is there something that maybe can be given to all the principals so that we
Right.
could all be on the same page and know
Yes.
what it's called? Because you know how it's changed from, code black, code red, all these things, and then it went to lockdown, and then just went to like, don't say it, and then it went like, yes, say it, just so that we could all be consistent and we can all have the current thing that we need to make sure that we are telling the teachers, so that in turn, when they train the students, we all are doing the same thing.
Okay.
That way, if a student is in a different campus or we're visiting a different school, like we're all doing the same thing.
Right. And to answer your question, I did mention earlier that Police Chief Garcia has already trained the substitutes. It's actually on that. And if I go here to the emergency procedure manual, the training that he's doing is exactly this right here. Remember, secure campus procedures, we have phase 1, 2, and 3. This is what you're talking about. This is what we're gonna do. It's here already. That's why I'm asking, go over it with your faculty and staff. What the police chief has is an actual PowerPoint explaining the process, right? Secure, hold, and lockdown. Not only that, what should we do? And so I need to talk with police chief and Dr. Borrego, because we're seeing that when, let's say, for example, there is an intruder, he has a gun. What have you done? You've done a lockdown, right? Because we should have done a lockdown. What happens? Classrooms are locked, lights are turned off. It says there exactly what to do, right? So what are we gonna do if that intruder goes in? And I know I'm veering off, guys, but since you're asking, there's a training, I think, that it should be only for middle and high schools, and then there's one for elementary as to what to do if the intruder goes into the classroom. But we'll get back to that later on, okay? But Yes, the process is there. Everybody knows it's in here. There's going to be a PowerPoint that police chief is doing with the substitute. That's going to be shared with all of you as well. So I'll include it in here so you can go over it with your faculty and staff. Okay. So that way we're on the same page. There's no colors here, no other things. It's just phase 1, 2, and 3. We usually.
Dr. Noyola, Dr.
Yes.
Noyola. Dr. Noyola, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, one more thing from the safety department. I'm happy to announce that I've been given the green light to start my safety committee meetings again.
Okay.
Okay, because during the pandemic, of course, we did away with it and for safety reasons. But starting in September, all principals, I'm gonna need y'all again to select two of your employees to become part of this committee. And we're gonna meet once a month. Okay, usually it's either one of the coaches or the head custodian or an assistant principal, but I need two representatives from every campus, because during these meetings we discuss a lot of things, a lot of safety procedures, injuries. We send the information back to these committee members. They send, we send them back to their school so they can tell the principals, hey, this is what's going on, this is what's changed, this is what they're allowing us to do. So these safety committee meetings were awesome in the past. We got a lot of information out, and so we're going to start them again in September, and we will send out the memos as to when exactly. They're usually towards the end of the month, and so just a reminder to pick your two individuals that are gonna represent your building. And all I ask is when they go back to your campus the following day, that you give them their 5 or 10 minutes and say, hey, what did y'all discuss at the safety meeting? Well, we discussed this, and that, and lots of times we answer questions for them. Coach Guzman is the one that joins me in these meetings, and we do have a lot of information for.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Garza. Yeah. I'm gonna go to the next one. This is a threat assessment team training, because we're supposed to do that. So this right here, I'm going to ask all principals to complete a campus threat assessment team members form. And this probably you've seen, it's very similar to the ones that I've asked for different teams. Campus threat assessment team, the school name. These are just possible ones that you want in your threat assessment team. What is a threat assessment team? A threat assessment team can be administrator, counselor, teacher, nurse, security guard, custodian. It could be anybody that you need, right? Or want in your team. These are the people that whenever there's issues with students, they've threatened another student, so forth, you've met as a team and you've looked at everything about them, okay? When are you gonna meet? This is just an example. I put down every 2 weeks, from 3 to 3:30, office conference room, and on Fridays, or whatever you all want, right? So this is a form you have to turn into me. Now, what is this threat assessment team? Well, there's a training provided by the state. So this is a state, we have to comply. It's called the School Behavioral Threat Assessment Training. So once you get to this, it's the website from the Texas School Safety Center. You see this green here, it says School Safety Learning Portal. There's 2 parts to this. The first one is an online course. So you're going to have to take it. All principals, you are responsible. You're going to have to take this. You can tell your assistant principal to do it as well, and then you have to train everybody on your campus. Okay. So what you do is this right here, School Safety Learning Portal. Click on it. You're going to have to sign up because you're not part of it yet. I am, so let me put in my credentials. Here it is. And this is going to come up. It identifies you. There's a lot of trainings by the Safety Center. The one that you are going to be responsible for is this one right here, Behavioral Threat Assessment. You review the course right here, and there should be, well, it's taking me through the course. It should be about an hour, ladies and gentlemen, because you have to go through the modules. it gives you questions, and you're gonna have to read or read, or sometimes there's videos. So you're gonna have to answer all the questions. This is a prerequisite, okay? After you've taken this, let me go back here. After you've taken this, they're gonna give you a unique number. And that unique number, go back again. You have a unique number. You're going to go ahead and input it, and I probably need to go. See if I can go to the safety center from here. Taking me someplace else. Let me minimize this. I'm sorry. I just need to show you. Texas Safety Center. Here it is, school behavioral threat assessment. It's the same one right there. And I can't get to this page again. So you're going to do an online course by yourself. After that, they give you a code. And then you have to have a virtual training. By whom? By them. And if you scroll down, below, these are all the virtual trainings. You're going to have to sign up. These that say pass, they're already passed or they're full. These are the ones that are open, so you have to, with the safety code that you get, they're going to give you first a certificate. I forgot to mention that. After you do the online, they give you a certificate. You give the certificate, send it to me. Then you're going to register for the virtual training. And these are that say open, you open it, and you have to input here the code. It's the course code, the code that they give you, special code. Everybody gets a different code. You can't share the code. So everybody's going to get a special code, and you input it. Then just wait until the virtual training that you do with them, and that's it. Okay? So there's 2 steps to this. First one here, it says there, step 1, online course. You take it through here. So after you give you the special code, you have to do a virtual training with them. It's a whole day training. And you have to make sure that you go through the training. And then after you do the training, there's a certificate and you have to send it to me. This is part of what? This is part of what they're telling us that we all need to do. I'm doing it myself. So is Dr. Borrego, and several of us in the committee need to do this as well, so that we know about behavioral threat assessment. Okay, let me go back to the PowerPoint. Are there any questions on that training? I know now, when is this training? It doesn't have to be done now, but the better, the sooner. Okay. So this is the form you need to send to me, and this is the training. Send it to me, and I need to go ahead and make sure that all of us have that. Okay. Are there any questions about this training and the form? Okay, we're almost done.
Dr. Noyola,
yes,
you mentioned once we go through the training, we turn it around to our campus.
Yes, sir. Once you've gone through all the training, the online and the virtual.
And the virtual, okay.
And the virtual, yeah. Then you can do it for all your faculty and staff, because that's what they want us to do, okay? Because they need to be aware that if a student, and they'll give you a lot of examples. Like, for example, when they do the STAR exam, they say, I want to kill this person. That should be an alert. The teacher should be able to know, I need to tell my principal, right? If the teacher gave them an assignment and they say, I have a hit list, or they're drawing pictures or this. So now they're trying to make sure that everyone is aware of all these things and to bring it up to your attention as a principal. And then what are we going to do? Well, we already have things in place that, they brought it up to your attention, sir. What do you do? Well, let me tell my counselor. Maybe she can do some counseling. Well, you know what? I see that. I think this needs more help. You know what? Let me assign it to or refer them to either outside agencies or to our psychologists and our professional counselors or wraparound specialists. So all of that, we know a lot of these things. They're just giving us more info, and they need to see our name now. That's what they want to know. It's really because you're doing it individually, and they want to know that is someone from each campus at least trained, okay? Now, after you go through it and you feel, you know what, I need to have all my assistants or my assistant go through it, or even my counselor, go ahead, have them go through it, okay? And there's the link. Okay, so this is a threat assessment team training. There's no, I would like it for sure if you could finish, guys, at least the online anytime in September, because I don't want to pressure you on this, but on our report to TEA will be that you're either on it or you're working on it, okay? And then the last review, well, the last is to review. We all, just because we checked at the beginning of the year, the check-in procedures and the Raptor is working, or did you fix it in December? Did you fix it by January? Did you fix it by, let's say March? You have to constantly be doing that, okay? They also want us to, the audit tools, those first two that you're responsible for, they want to make sure, are we constantly looking at it, right? Not only that, they're saying at least once every week, you should be checking access to everything. The good thing is, and you've seen this already, and I have it here, if I click on it, is that we already do this. The supervisors, the security supervisors that go out there, they're constantly doing this. They're doing this audit for the middle and high schools, right? And when you get this report back, principals, please make sure that it's being done. Because if we're seeing that it's not being done, or the doors are not locked, or all of these things, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing because you've already seen it, then you'll probably be hearing from us here at Central Office now that these things need to be made or done, right? Now, elementary, they do one every other day, okay? State is saying at least once a week. We're doing them, again, we're doing above and beyond, just like Dr. Arredondo said at the very beginning. We don't want to be just, we're just going to meet the minimum. We're going to go above and beyond, okay? So how is all of this working? All of this, the way the state is putting it together is that under the direction of the Board of Trustees and the superintendent, they have to create, or we should have in our district, at the district level, 2 committee meetings or 2 teams. The one that this presentation is talking about is called the Safe and Security Committee. This one is the one that has the superintendent, the board president, and it asks for certain members. This one is the Safe and Supportive School Program Team. That is the ones that I mentioned just now. It's me, Dr. Borrego, Ms. Agüero Ramirez, Mr. Faz, Police Chief. We're this other team. So we're going to be talking to each other. We're going to we're responsible to oversee the schools to make sure that you all have a safe and supportive team, just like what we do at the district level. And are all these audits being done? So we're going to be talking back to you, and you're telling us, just like the conversations that we've been having, well, this doesn't work. This works. That doesn't work. Can we do this? Can we do that? Okay. So there has to be a team at the campus, and there is one at the district already that we've had in the past. Now, the new one that they've created is this one over here, Safe and Security Committee. So this is the way we're going to be working. Okay. Now, let me go back to the beginning. These are all the required actions. We've gone through them. The ones you are responsible for right now is these audits. These audits need to be done quickly as possible, right? The others, please submit as soon as possible. If for staff development days, train your faculty and staff on these, right? The emergency procedures. Mandatory scheduled drills, send them to Mr. Romeo Garza as soon as possible. The threat assessment team members that need to be trained, that's you. And I'm telling you, please get it as soon as you can. And the last item was, we have to constantly be checking, does the door lock or doesn't it lock? If you notice, I was looking at the news, and at Uvalde, I think they said that the principal knew that one of the doors didn't lock or something. And I don't know if they put her on administrative leave or they already told her goodbye or something. Because, of course, you know, it's something that happened and she knew. I'm not trying to give you more pressure. I'm just asking you, please, we need these audits as quickly as possible. Okay, are there any questions on any of these items?
Dr. Noyola,
Yes.
I don't have a question. I have more of a suggestion. I would suggest, if I may, just make a recommendation that as far as evidence that the staff has been trained on keeping all the doors locked, access doors, classroom doors, my suggestion will be for principals to include that information on their prospective campuses, faculty, staff handbooks. I know that principals go through those every year. And if you include that in there and you go through your handbook every year, then you do so automatically. Everything is kept in a centralized location. If something happens, God forbid, and we start asking for evidence, you have all the information in a centralized location, your faculty and staff handbook. So that'll be my recommendation for that.
Great idea. Great idea.
As far as the training, my suggestion would be to include a little chapter in there for basically safety and security plan for the campus. And then that way you can also, and again, this is just a suggestion, it'll be documented as well that the faculty and staff was trained on the safety and security measures for each of those things that you just mentioned. The principals could include it in there. They discussed it with their staff. This is what's going to happen. These are the calendar. And in fact, this may be an opportunity for the principals to meet with their leadership teams and decide, hey, guys, help me with these dates. What do you think? Because there may be some members of the campus that may say, oh, no, that's not a good day for us. Can we make it on this day? That way it'll be inclusive and everybody will feel like more engaged in the process. The other suggestion that I have, principals, as you go through your doors, I would suggest that you submit a work order. Even if you submitted one in the past, I will submit a work order. That's your documented evidence that you reported it. And then if God forbid something happens, we'll have updated documented evidence that you have reported it. Okay. And then we can follow through. I'm sure Mr. Foss will be responding immediately to those reports about access doors, because things happen over the summer too. You might have, a door might have broken over the summer. You were not there. So it'll give you an opportunity to check your doors and submit updated work orders before the staff returns. And that's another suggestion. That's all I have for now. Thank you, Dr. Noyola, for inviting me to this meeting. I hope that information is helpful. And I'll be more than glad to help in any way I can.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Any questions? I know we took longer than expected, but that's good. It was good conversation, good ideas from everyone. If there aren't any,
real quick, everybody on the call, just to give you an update on the police side, we did hire 5 more, or we're in the process of hiring 5 more officers to add to our staff, so that'll jump us to 24 officers. We are already purchased 2 canines. My officers are currently getting trained and certified to use those. So in essence, it's going to add some more on patrol. We'll be able to really visit y'all a little bit more now that we have this extra staff and really get things going to where it needs to be. So lean on our officers, lean on us as a team with Dr. Borrego, Dr. Noyola, and I. We're here for you. If you need one of us to go, critique y'all on the lockdown drill, that's what we're here for, or any of the drills. As a matter of fact, we can get with the fire chiefs from the cities for hazmat ones on what we're doing or what we need to do different. So by all means, just call us. You have our numbers and we'll help you out as much as we can.
Dr. Noyola.
Yes.
It's me, Mr. Garza again, Romeo Garza. Also on crossing guards, I'm in the process of trying to hire. We're short about 10 principals. Believe me, we've been trying for the past month so hard to hire new crossing guards. Unfortunately, we don't get too many that apply. If you know of anybody that wants to be a crossing guard, please send them my way. I've gone to several meetings throughout the year trying to recruit. These are part-time jobs. They're only 3 hours a day. I think it pays $12 an hour. But I've been, ever since the pandemic, unfortunately, we lost quite a bit, and I've been trying to replace. So please bear with us. If there's anybody on your campus that can help us, cross these kids in the morning, the afternoon while we hire, I really appreciate your help when it comes to crossing guards. Please.
Okay, well, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for participating and bringing things, to light of things that are not working, things that are working, or we don't have, and yes, we do have. So, but if you have any further questions, please let me know either through an email or in the chat, either one, and we'll be getting to you as soon as we can. Mr. Hernandez, yes, sir.
Sir, on that note with the crossing guards, so will our current crossing guards be available Monday morning, or are they not on board yet?
They're not on board, not for Monday.
I'm going to be meeting with them. We have a training next week with them. I know, not next week.